Hi there, Andrew here. I love to be entertained, but I have no patience, so I give every new show I watch only one episode to hook me. Welcome to Debut Review. Today I will be watching the very first episode of Glow. No, not the first episode of the second season, which just premiered. The first episode of the first season, which I never got around to watching. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't like wrestling. I don't dislike wrestling. I don't have a problem with wrestling. It's just never entertained me. I kind of like the characters and the flamboyance of wrestling, especially 80s era when I grew up. But I never actually liked watching wrestling because most of it was talking. I just wanted to see the athletes in the ring just throwing each other around because that's fun, but most of it is them talking. And the storylines are terrible. And not even in a fun comic booky way. They're just bad. Just bad, bad, bad. Like you sit there and you go, oh, it's physically painful. It's so bad. And the rules don't make any sense. Or I'm too dense to understand them. Either way, I've never found wrestling appealing. And Glow is a show about wrestling. Hopefully it's better written than actual, Monday Night Raw professional wrestling type wrestling. I hear good things about it. So let's see, what's the show description say? It says, in 1980s LA, a crew of misfits reinvent themselves as the gorgeous ladies of wrestling. Oh, Glow! Gorgeous ladies of... Okay. I did not know that. A comedy by the team behind Orange is the New Black. I've never seen that, so that doesn't mean much to me. Let's see, Alison Brie, I've heard of her, couldn't place her. Betty Gilpin? My TV is very far away, so, and Mark Morone, I don't know these people. So, let's glow to it. I don't know, see you in a sec. I like this show. I believe I will tune in for episode 2. And you might think, a cast? But Andrew, you don't like wrestling. Well, this is a show about the people who come together to put on a wrestling show. The show that they put on I might not like, but the stories and the characters involved in putting on that show so far seems to be really interesting. I'm liking a lot of what I see. I really only have 2 major issues with what I've seen so far. One is the protagonist is a struggling actor who can't find any parts, who is tired of the only parts that are available to her are the secretary who comes in and says, your client is online too, and that's the entire part. And she can't even get those jobs. So she falls into an audition for the Glow, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, because her manager, I don't know, gives her a tip on that. She says, you told me you were open to anything. This is a cattle call for something. I don't know what it is. Go for it. And it turns out to be the wrestling thing. The show opens up with her reading at an audition, but she's reading the what's supposed to be the male part. And it's this dramatic, meaty thing, and she delivers it with gusto. Throughout the rest of the show, every time she does the acting thing, whether she's in the ring trying to... what is this fuzzy thing floating around? Whether she's in the ring trying to add some character backstory to why she's throwing someone around by the hair, or whether she's in her scene study class, she's terrible. Which is weird because she was good. She gave a fine... The show opens with her giving a fine performance. You're like, oh, she can act. She's just not given her chance. Every other time she acts, this character acts throughout the rest of the show, she's offensively bad. Which is weird to me. I'm like, wait, is this character supposed to be a good actor or a bad actor? Because you started, unless I have no good judgment on someone's acting ability, it starts out with a fine line reading, and then the rest of it's terrible. So she is in her apartment, and some guy climbs in through her window, and she's like, no, you've got to go away. It's not fair to your wife. And I'm like, And she has sex with him anyway. And I'm like, you're a slime ball. No, I don't like you. We're one episode in and I don't like you. And I was thinking, oh no. This is going to be her best friend's husband, isn't it? Yeah. However, the fact that she's sleeping with her best friend's husband, or at least did so twice, is what brings the two together in the ring. So she's at the wrestling audition and her friend storms in. Not completely sure how she found her there. No, she picked her up from there the previous day, so she would have known where she was, I guess. And it's like, you hold my baby! And they get in the ring, just chases her around and beats the hell out of her. And I was wondering how they were, because I've seen the preview for the show, so I know her best friend ends up there too. Well, no one's perfect, and I'm glad that that's not a thing that they're gonna I'm glad that's, well, these characters are going to have some issues to work through, but I'm glad that's not a big overhanging plot point for the entire show. I'm glad that's out in the open and on its way to being worked through via those two characters. Other than that, I really quite enjoyed the show. Great performances. I'm digging the 80s aesthetic. Some of the humor goes a little cheesy, but it's a wrestling show, so or a show about wrestling, so yeah, we'll excuse that. But yeah, it's the different characters and personalities and the way they behave and interact. That's really selling the show for me so far. So, and I imagine it's probably just going to get better once the characters start creating their individual wrestling personas. So, yeah, I dig it.